Okay, I'm going to do a video that people have been requesting for a while. And I'm going to do a video about something that collects dust and has done so for years. Funko Pops are something I was collecting a lot up until a couple years ago. Then Yvonne and I met, and at that point, the hockey channel was growing to the point that um, I really didn't bother with the Funko Pops much anymore. I had been going off of the what are the new ones, and then going with the idea of okay, which shows do I like the most. Now, what I've noticed with Funkos over the last, I want to say, year, they're geared more towards little kids and girls now than they were at the beginning. At the beginning, it was like, hey, nerd boys are gonna love these. So I'm gonna do a top 20 of my favorites that I own, and again, um, this was not easy. So because for two reasons. One, trying to categorize which ones are my favorites, it's tough, and two, they're all over the place. There's Funkos in different areas of the house, and again, it's one of those things that when we get a bigger place, I'm going to have a sweet set, not just for hockey, but on the other side of the room, the vision is that I'll have my Funkos all in lines, and it's going to look amazing. Number 20, Ash, first from Ash versus Evil Dead. I had to get this one. This is the only Ash versus Evil Dead figure I got. I didn't get Pablo, Kelly, or Ruby. And yes, I have remorse for not getting Pablo, Kelly, and Ruby, because the series is gone now, so there won't be another set of these. And that's part of why I like these so much, is because um, they do cover series that others don't, which is why at 19 you have Bob. Now, I didn't like the rebooted Twin Peaks, and that's putting it nicely. I was not a fan of the rebooted Twin Peaks at all, on any level. I thought it was just bad. I just, you know, there's the one episode with the mushroom cloud and the weird radiation creature things, and it, yeah, I liked the old series where it was Bob was the thing you were scared of, and you didn't understand what Bob was or where Bob came from. But Bob is the evil that all men do, kind of thing. So I miss when Twin Peaks had that going for it. At 18, an underrated, kind of forgotten about. And now that we've got a 13th Doctor, I will have to get hers as well, because with the Doctor, I do try to get all of them. And they haven't done a Doctor Who release in a couple of years now, likely due to the fact that its popularity had waned under Peter Capaldi, and there wasn't much of an interest in them. This one came out in it doesn't say, not on there anyways. Da, 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 da. Come on, there's got to be a copyright on here. Anyways, I know it came out a couple of years ago. And they've got 12th Doctor with a guitar, 11th Doctor, Mr. Clever, 10th Doctor with the hand, War Doctor, and Davros, and I have all of those, of course. And the War Doctor I like, and it's kind of forgotten. The Day of the Doctor is one of those episodes that I think is underrated, and John Hurt, rest in peace. This was an amazing episode, and this is an amazing figure too. Number 17, the Log Lady. So we're back to Twin Peaks again. And I have Cooper and I have Audrey as well. And again, the Log Lady was so amazing. And when you see the scenes with her in the new series, you can tell she's dying for real. It's not an act, she's really dying. And she died before the series was released. And it's sad. And I remember Margaret as the Log Lady, as the one that I don't have to introduce the log. It's the log. Like, I remember Twin Peaks is this nice quirky series where nobody ever said hello, nobody ever said goodbye, and for God's sake, don't eat a donut that's on the table. They have this whole table covered in donuts. I'm trying to remember if it's Andy that eats a donut and everybody gives him a dirty look. But anyways, somebody eats a donut off the table or takes a bite out of one and everybody gives him a dirty look, so he puts it back on the table. And that's the kind of fun stuff that Twin Peaks didn't have this time around. And so I got this whole series of action figures. I didn't get Leland. I didn't end up getting the Giant or Laura. But I got Audrey, Log Lady, Dale, Bob. And it's a shame. Shame, I say. Number 16. And again, this is why I love the Funko series, because iZombie is kind of this cult thing that I understand not a lot of people watch. It's on on the CW, which means not a lot of people watch it, if everybody even gets it. And I love the show. There's two different Livs and I went with the one where she's wearing glasses. Basically the same figure both times. There are other characters on the show other than Liv, but yeah, we'll just put the main girl on there and we'll just give her glasses on one of them and she's holding a beaker. It's weird. But anyways, some things they do with Funkos kind of weird, and this is one of my favorites. Okay, and at 15, so I did a pause and went and got more because I can't stack 20 of them on here. At 15, the Silence, one of the most terrifying villains in the history of the show of Doctor Who. They wear their sharp suits, and they're not villains the entire run. They actually help the Doctor out in the Time of the Doctor is the episode I'm thinking of. Anyways, it was a fun episode, and there are some really fun things that go on in that series that it's easy to forget when you do the reboots, when you change doctors. Some of these villains disappear. The Silence, I wouldn't mind seeing them come back sometime during the run of Jodie Whittaker's. Number 14. And sometimes when they're silly, it's when they're the best. Deadpool as Bob Ross. The best trailer I ever saw for Deadpool is the one where he's painting and he's talking like Bob Ross, and then the violence creeps in there. We always got the feeling with Bob Ross there was something under the surface, and it's kind of a fun thing where you're like, wonder what's in there. And then, Bob Ross himself admitted there'd been a lot of rage in his life before he started doing the painting show, and that painting really helped him settle down and made him a happier person. So Deadpool as Bob Ross is a fantastic one. The one I saw it, I had to buy it right away, which was kind of a rule with this. So if they're going to be top 20, they can't just be ones that look cool. They have to be ones that I had to buy right away, which means that at 13 is Bob Ross. The only thing I'm not a fan of with the Bob Ross is the weird hat in the corner and him being in a paint can. But, honestly, this is the only one I've been able to find in store of Bob Ross. I've seen another one online, which is expensive. But, yeah, Bob Ross, when I was a kid, yeah, that was one thing you could throw on was Bob Ross's Joy of Painting. And you could watch it with the family. You never had to worry about anything weird. And every single time you watch, you're like, oh man, he wrecked it. And he saved it. Wrecked it. Saved it. Wrecked. Oh, that's so stupid. Holy crap. How did that black blob turn into a cabin? It took him 3 strokes. And you'll always see like, you just grab just a little bit of paint, just a little bit off of here, and then just a little, just pull a little. Just pull a little bit here, and then a little highlight. Just take a little bit of green, a little bit of yellow, and there you go. And then you're like, wow, that looks like Ronald Reagan. He just drew Ronald Reagan using black and green. I don't know how he did it. He was a wizard with a paintbrush, and I don't think anybody watching that could go, oh, I can pick that up. It's a natural ability he had that was unique to him. Number 12. The Crow. The Crow is an interesting one in that I ordered this one online. I couldn't find it in store, so I had to order it through Amazon. And The Crow was my favorite movie, and yeah, when I was younger, and Halloween was still a possible thing, I could go to a Halloween party. It's my favorite makeup to put on because it was easy. And the Crow movie is one that just kind of stuck with me in a good way. There's movies that stick with you in the bad way, like Evil Dead did with me when I was younger, or The Exorcist when I was younger. I'd had, that left me with icky feelings. I never got that with The Crow. The Crow was fun. And I honestly think this is one of their better figures. I think they did really, really well with it. Number 11. It's the only time you're going to see Jason Voorhees on this countdown. And I got Jason because I think it's cute. I think Jason's misunderstood. I don't think he's ever intentionally killed people. I still think it's all a big misunderstanding. I think he just gestures using a machete, and it's all taken out of context. And at some point, I would like to make a movie where that's the case, where I just bring to the fore the fact that Jason is actually a very loving person who really cares about people, and he just shows it in the wrong ways. And I think that would be a fun movie to make. I remember when I was a teenager, I actually tried writing a story where Jason was in an old folks home, and I've actually written a couple of kills in there where, again, it was by accident. He shared his room with a guy who snored a lot, so he decided, if I put the pillow over his face to muffle the noise, I won't have to worry about his snoring and I could go back to sleep. And of course, hijinks ensue. And I think that would make for really good. And the fact, too, that he has to be wearing the hockey mask at all times, and nobody in the old folks' home finds that weird or says anything. What's your name again? Jason. Good to meet you, Jason. I thought it would make for something fun, and it never got much past the first two uh, accidental offings of people. So, yeah, that's 15 through 11. And now we get into the top 10. And at 10, Pickle Rick. Now, my love for Rick and Morty is well documented. And Pickle Rick, they got it right. And again, I think what gets me with the Funko Pop figures, it's not just that they take all the pop culture references, throw them on a doll and send it out. The details are done right. That's the key for me with Funko. I know when we were down in Everett during the summer, we actually went to the Funko store, and it's amazing. And there are so many different kinds of Funko, and some of them end up being worth a lot of money. Some of them don't. I don't collect them because they're going to end up being worth a lot of money. I collect them because, again, I think they're fun. And at some point someday, there's going to be a huge display behind me of all of my Funkos. I have about 60 or 70 of them. So it's not as bad as some of my other collections, know what I'm saying? Number 9. This isn't Jason. Oh, no, it isn't. This is Roy. If you look, there's nothing on the mask. There's no marks. There's blue marks on the side of it. This is from Friday the 13th, Part 5. Jason Voorhees is not in Friday the 13th, Part 5. It's Roy. This is not a movie that I've made my wife watch with me yet. At some point I will, because it was where Friday the 13th really kind of goes off the rails. And I mean that with a series that is not very good to start with. But Part 5, wow, it's not Jason. Jason does not appear in the movie at all. This figure should just say Roy on it. It says Jason Voorhees because then people will buy it. But really, it's Roy. So with Roy, that makes it into my top 10, because when I saw it in the store, I said, that's a Roy figure. It's not Jason. And I thought it was hilarious. So I had to buy it. And it's not a clean mask, and I'm not sure why. It's a gray mask, and it's kind of weird for that. Number 8. Back to Doctor Who. Ninth Doctor with a banana. There is a Ninth Doctor figure, and of course I have it, where he's got the sonic screwdriver. This one, he's actually holding a banana. Because he's holding a banana, it's a Hot Topic exclusive, and it says Ninth Doctor with banana. Now, if you've watched Series 1, you get the funny of it. But if you haven't, and if you don't watch Doctor Who, you'll be like, with a banana? Why is that exclusive? Why would that be more valuable than the Ninth Doctor just being the Ninth Doctor and holding a sonic screwdriver? Why would you want it where he's why? That doesn't make any sense. So, yeah, this is the one that doesn't make sense to people who don't watch the show, and for people who do, it's really kind of funny. So that's number 8. 7. You know, there's a need now for me to do my favorite to least favorite episodes of Doctor Who. I think I'm going to wait until this series is over, though. I think I want to wait till this series is over, and then I'll do a countdown of my favorite episodes of Doctor Who, because I've done it before. Evolving Dalek Sec. That's an EB Games exclusive that I got, because there's Dalek Sec right in the middle. I love the detail on this. It is absolutely one of my favorite Doctor Who figures ever. It is just awesome. It is a thing of beauty, and because of the shape and the style of Daleks, it's very easy for Funko to make Funko Daleks, and they still look just like Daleks. This was the first series that they did of Doctor Who, and Dalek Sec was an exclusive. It's gone, and the last time I looked, it's expensive. But it is the worst episode. Evolution of the Daleks is the worst episode of them all, and this is the best of the... Did I say best episode? It's not. It's the worst episode. It's just awful. The logic holes in the episode are just... Wow. They're awful. But this is an amazing figure. So it's the best figure from the worst episode. One of the best figures. I still like my Davros a lot, but I didn't include Davros in this because it's a big figure. And I thought, no, we'll keep it all to the smaller figures. Number 6. Unmasked Vader. Why? Because it's Vader without a mask. And he doesn't look like Anakin from the prequels. He's got the bruise on his face here, which Vader had when he was unmasked in the movie. That's supposed to be there. I know when they did the updated version of the original trilogy, and then it's an Anakin looking Anakin, meaning Anakin from the original series. Oh man, it's just awful. So I still remembered that it was an old guy that was under the mask originally, and it was an old guy that showed up during the Ewok party at the end of the movie, and not the Hayden Christensen that showed up later. So this unmasked Vader to me is a callback to what the original trilogy was, and for that reason, I remember I found this at the store. I'm like, I'm going to buy it, and then I went back to buy it later, and it was sold out. So I found this again at a different store. I think it might have been Hot Topic, and I grabbed it immediately. I was like, I have to have that. It's an unmasked Vader. This actually, I may have got from, yeah, I may have got this one from the Funko store. This actually, I think I got at the Funko store because I knew I had to have the unmasked Vader, and because I had missed it the first time. So there you go. That's 10 through 6. The top 5 is hard to get into. That being said, 5 is Tom Servo. 4 is Crow. My wife got me these last Christmas from Mystery Science Theater 3000. If you haven't seen Mystery Science Theater 3000, we can still be friends, but only just barely. And again, they're both really, really well done. I love both of them, and the fact that my wife found them when I didn't even know they existed in Funko form was amazing last Christmas. And goes to show you don't have to spend a lot of money. Just, it really is the thought that counts. And in this case, the thought was Mystery Science Theater is awesome, and both of these figures are as well. So I have to give credit where credit is due. Number 3. I love this one. My favorite villain is not a villain in Doctor Who, not in my eyes. The adipose don't know what they're doing. They're babies. So they're made of human fat, and it's kind of gross the way that they're born. That they just and really, when you think about it, couldn't you market those pills if you only have people lose one at a time, rather than lose a bunch of weight? Anyways, if your fat fell off your body and looked as cute as this, I think we would have a billion adipose all around the world, and I think we could have a happier place. Now, the one thing the episode doesn't tell us is what these things look like when they're grown-ups. The show has never shown us either. Every now and then, in an episode with the 11th Doctor, you may see an adipose sort of wobbling around in the background. They did do that callback every now and then on the show, which was kind of fun. And every now and then you'd see a member of the Silence. There were numerous characters you'd see that with, but the adipose to me was really cute. And that was one of the funniest episodes ever. And that was where Donna won me over. I was like, all right, Donna will be fine. Number 2. What could be better than Cthulhu? Not much. The fact that I have Cthulhu and that it's a master of Rylak, and it says on the back, the monster lies dead but dreaming in the city of Ryla. Rlyea. Arlier, a place of non-Euclidean madness, presently and mercifully sunken below the depths of the Pacific Ocean. Imprisoned beneath the sea, he waits to return. I love Cthulhu. I'm very excited that I have a Cthulhu jersey that's coming. Yeah, I ordered a Cthulhu jersey from Geeky Jerseys. I am really excited, far too excited about a Cthulhu jersey. A grown man shouldn't be that excited about a Cthulhu jersey, but I really and truly am. And Cthulhu he's wondrous. Yeah, and I think it's just a beautiful figure, and I'm glad that I got it through Amazon when I did, because last time I looked, it wasn't anywhere to be found for anything less than a mint. Remember, you get these for like $10 each, and then you look later and you're like, holy crap. Number 1, I didn't know this existed. I didn't know at the time that I ordered it that this existed. Now, chase variants means that you're ordering and you might get a chase variant. You have like a 1 in 6 or 1 in 7 odds of getting a chase variant. I ordered 2 Mr. Meeseeks. I have the regular Mr. Meeseeks, which looks all happy, like the picture here on the side. He looks like that, and I like it. But this one is awesome. This is the angry Meeseeks holding a gun when he's had enough of Jerry. We can't fix Jerry, so it's time we kill Jerry. And there have been days where I've kind of felt like that. I identify far too much with, well, we can't fix this problem. We're going to have to fix it. Uh, so I really like the Meeseeks. I don't have every Rick and Morty Funko Pop because some of them, like Bird Person, I'm not. Squanchy, no. Snowball, no. I have Weaponized Rick, Weaponized Morty. I do have two of the Meeseeks, as I said. I have Poopy Butthole, of course, because he's a funny and sad and tragic character. But and I have from the next series, I have Scary Terry and a few others. But this is for me the number one with a bullet on the list of my favorite Funkos that I own. It is just amazing and fun. And last I checked, it's really expensive online. I think I saw it for like 40-45 bucks on eBay. Once these sell out, they're gone. I've never seen that I know of. I've never seen Funko do another run. So once they're gone, if they bring it back, let's say they did another Meeseeks, they'll do it slightly differently, and it will have a different number on it. It'll be a different one altogether. So there you go. My 20 favorite Funkos that I own. People have asked me to do this for the last while, and I apologize it took me this long to get around to it, but there it is. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. If you're browsing your way through, you just tap it upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.